The Golden Jar and the Steps of Today. Zaid was a happy boy with a warm smile and quick feet. He loved to play and had a big, bright toy box full of amazing things. Red cars, funny dolls, and colorful blocks, all jumbled together. But sometimes, after all the playing, Zaid felt a strange little empty space inside. Not an empty tummy, but an empty feeling. He would look at his big toy box and wonder, why does this happy box feel empty? Zaid ran to find his grandmother Saliha. She always had the best answers and the softest lap. He found her sitting by the sunny window. In her lap, she held a jar. It was not glass, not wood, but a beautiful shimmering gold. It was completely empty and clean, catching the light like a tiny sun. "Grandmother," Zaid whispered, "why does my toy box feel empty when it is so full?" Saliha smiled and moved the jar from her lap to Zaid's small hands. "My sweet Zaid," she said, "that empty feeling is telling you something. It is telling you about the golden jar. This jar is not for toy cars or blocks. It is for the most valuable things in the world. The steps of today that you choose to take." Zaid looked at the beautiful jar and then at his grandmother's wise eyes. "What are the steps of today?" Zaid asked, turning the jar over and over. "They are your good manners, your kind actions, and all the sunnah that our Prophet taught us," Saliha explained. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small, round, perfectly polished pebble that sparkled like a drop of water. "Each step is a pebble. When you do a good deed, you put a pebble in. It fills the jar and it fills your heart." The next morning, Zaid woke up feeling excited. The first step. Before his feet even touched the floor, he rubbed the sleep from his eyes and softly said the dua for waking up. "Alhamdulillahi alladhi ahyana ba'da ma amatana wa ilayhi nushur." Pebble. He carefully dropped the first shiny stone into the golden jar. Clink. It made a wonderful, happy sound. At the breakfast table, the food smelled delicious. Zaid looked at the warm, soft bread and juicy dates. He remembered what Saliha had said. He made sure to say Bismillah before he took the first bite, and he only used his strong, helpful right hand to eat. Pebble. He dropped a second stone into the jar. He was so careful not to spill a single crumb. Later, Zaid was playing in the garden. He heard a tiny, sad meow. Under the big green bush, a skinny little cat was hiding, looking very hungry. Zaid stopped his playing right away. He ran and found a tiny saucer and put a small portion of his own milk in it. Mercy to all creation is a sunnah. Pebble. The little cat started drinking happily. Zaid took his red car to the playground. He was pushing it fast on the path when he saw a small girl trip over her shoelace. "Wah!" She started to cry. Zaid parked his car and ran to her. "Are you okay?" he asked kindly. He helped her stand up and stayed until she stopped crying and smiled. Helping others is a heavy step. Pebble. When the sun began to go down, Zaid went home. He pushed open the door and saw grandmother Saliha in the kitchen. "Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah," Zaid called out loudly and clearly. He gave the best greeting he could, just like the Prophet taught. Saliha's face lit up with a huge smile. Pebble. Zaid loved making her smile with a good greeting. Zaid remembered his empty feeling from the day before. He looked around his room. He had left his books scattered on the floor after reading. Before he picked up a single toy, he kneeled and neatly stacked all his books on the shelf. Keeping his room tidy and taking responsibility for his things was a special step. Pebble. Now, his room looked happy too. Finally, the day was ending. Zaid sat with grandmother Saliha by the soft lamplight. He poured all the pebbles out of the golden jar onto a little cushion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 steps of today. He put them back in the jar, one by one. The jar was no longer empty. It had a lovely, soft sound and a beautiful shine from the pebbles. Saliha hugged Zaid close. "See, my love? Your toy box felt empty because your heart wanted a different kind of treasure. The golden jar is full of the reward for your kindness and your good manners. The more you fill the jar, the warmer and happier the feeling inside your heart becomes. That happy feeling is your true treasure. Zaid smiled, his heart feeling as warm and golden as the jar.